Bull riding, the concept sounds simple. I mean, we're only talking about 8 seconds, but reality and concept here are two different animals from every angle and from any speed. This is the most dangerous of games, but still, they keep lining up to play. Things don't go well. You don't take your ball and go home. You don't throw a fit. You get up, cowboy up, and get ready to do it all again one more time. Welcome to Clovis, California, and the PRCA Xtreme Bulls Tour presented by Coors Original. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Mitters. With me is 8-time world champion Donnie Gay. And Donnie, in the long go, the first guy to post a score was Zach Oakes, 90.5 points. Nobody else could catch him.
Well, nobody else caught him, but you know, that doesn't make any difference. You get to the final go-around, and then the cream rises to the top. But I believe that maybe this is the toughest short go of any that we've seen over the past year, because this thing has got Cody Hancock, it's got Bluestone, you got the gold buckles, now you got BJ Schumacher, he's the #1 guy, he thinks he's supposed to be the champ, you got Mike Moore, everybody that's anybody in bull riding's in this final round, so you know, I'm looking forward to the contest.
Let's talk about those past world champions, Cody Hancock, Bluestone. They did not excel in this format a year ago, but they're trying to change that.
Well, I don't think it's so much the format, it's just sometimes nothing you do seems to make any difference, and you know, they keep going and they got to make the whistle. But I think the #1 thing is Bluestone was really hurt a lot last year, and maybe a lot more than we ever alluded to.
BJ Schumacher, confidence is everything in this game. When you're ranked #1 in the world, that's as good as your confidence can get.
Well, he's riding real well, but I notice he's starting to favor, you know, he's starting to get a little bit of dings, and so you got to stay healthy, and it's a long year.
We are down to the final 15 Cowboys, all making the whistle in the long go. They're ready to go in round #2. We'll return to Clovis, California after a quick break. This ESPN presentation of PRCA Xtreme Bulls presented by Coors Original from Clovis, California is brought to you by Coors Original, real Rocky Mountain beer, it's Guys Night Out. By Wrangler, for the cowboy in you. By Justin Boots, standard of the West since 1879. And by Mahindra Tractors, cultivate your dreams. Not a full moon tonight in Clovis, California, but these guys, Donnie, rode in the first round like it was a full moon. They were pretty electric, and none were better than Zach Oakes.
Well, they had some good bulls to ride. Radical Ray of Groundy Brothers, one of those bulls, they all are bred to buck, and they turn back, kick, spin. Zach Oakes in great position, and this is just a picture-perfect bull ride. Things couldn't have worked out any better other than to get off 90.5.
Zach Oakes is a tough young bull rider from the Pacific Northwest. That 90.5 points, the best ride in the semifinals. And Oakes knows he has an opportunity. A win here would be a giant step toward the Wrangler NFR.
There's so much money to be won here, and if you don't have a piece of it, you're going to have to do it the hard way. And you know, the guys that do good at these, usually, you know, they're looking better than everybody else for a shot to the finals.
Cody Hancock knows all about the road to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. He was the world champion in 2000, had a tough 2003. Our Xtreme Bulls format, as we talked about, wasn't too good to him.
Well, he doesn't really care what it's going to take. He's got a little brindle bull right here, cranking it back into his hand West Coast Mudslinger, and one of those barn to buck program bulls, and Cody Hancock rides him with ridiculous ease. He doesn't care when or how, he's just going to get here done.
Cody Hancock, inspired in 2004, trying to make it back to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Great score there, 88.5 points. Here's what Cody had to say about West Coast Mudslinger.
Well, that was a really cool little bull. I'd never seen him. They told me he was really good at Red Bluff, and just kind of jumped out there and was around the right, and just little showy, and you know, just kind of bull you like to get on.
Now to Matt Austin, nicknamed Poindexter. He won on our Extreme Bulls tour last year. Matched up here tonight with another bull from Growney Brothers.
All right, well, RPM just turns back and gets RPM going. Matt Austin spurring. This is a day off for Matt, but the bull's a little flat, so he's not going to get a real high score, but gets a good score. Up, off on his feet.
That score of 75 would kind of put him on the bubble in terms of would he make it back, would he not make it back, because we had some guys posting some pretty high-marked rides on this semifinal round.
All right, Matt Austin doing well. Bo Hill, another one of those guys that can really ride. A little bit of a disappointment. Didn't make the national finals last year, and I thought this guy rides as well as anybody, and the real deal, this is masterpiece. And I mean, coming around to the right, sliding him back on the rumble seat, gets it done. And you know, Jeff, there's just nobody that tries any harder than this guy. He scores 80 points. He's pretty happy with that one.
Tall kid from Montana. Next up, Corey Melton. He won the inaugural Extreme Bulls event in 2003, a guy that made it to his first Wrangler National Finals rodeo. High expectations for him, not only coming into the semis here, but coming into the year as well. Wouldn't disappoint here, made a solid ride on Rapid Sugar, another bull from Growney Brothers.
Jumps out, turns back to the right. These bulls are used to bucking people off, and Corey has a little bit of trouble. Starts to go down inside the spin, then comes out, has to strain a little bit, but Melton gets the job done. 81.5, and I really thought that was maybe just a touch better than that.
Well, 81.5 would safely get Melton into the top 15 in the finals.
I think that was a second generation bull out of Rapid Fire, but Rapid Sugar, I hadn't figured that out yet.
From there we go to Lee Woolsey, lives in Utah. The bull is Hero, also from the Growney Brothers.
Here's a young guy that hasn't had a whole lot of action out here, but he's got a good seat on a big old yellow bull, cranking him back, spinning into his hand, the Hero, and he can be the hero, making a good ride and just pull the ripcord. Oh, Joe Bumgardner, it doesn't get any better than that, just saving the guy up and out of there. Lee Woolsey's going to have to work on getting his feet moving once he gets on the ground.
Well, it took a while to get it all sorted out, but Lee Woolsey jogs away with an 83-point score. He would also be back for the finals, and there's Joe Bumgardner.
He's just laughing.
There's a reason why those guys draw the big money, and they earn every penny of it. From Lee Woolsey, we go to the top-ranked cowboy in the world, B.J. Schumacher, a bull from Western Rodeo. Hippity hop, and B.J. giving you a pretty good indication here why he's the top-ranked cowboy in the world.
All right, got his hips out, gets them back in. I mean, B.J. Schumacher is really riding good, and that's about as much emotion as I've ever seen him show, but a good score, and rightly so. This bull really tried to buck him off.
Next stop on our PRCA Extreme Bulls Tour, presented by Coors Original, semifinal round from Reno. Join us on July 3rd, 3 Eastern Time. For more, go to ESPN.com and click on Pro Rodeo. Back to the semifinals now. Marcus Michaelis would be next to go. 79 on the bull called Rewind from Salt River.
All right, Skip Beeler likes all of his bulls that he brought over here. Just nice to ride. Michaelis comes around, rides going to the left, back to the right, or vice versa. Yeah, I can see. But, you know, nice bull riding Michaelis, and he got a good score, 79. Going to get to ride another one. First time we've seen him in the competition, but I don't like to see him ride one and then go to rubbing that elbow.
Casey Bay's next to go. 40 below is the bull from Salt River. Lives in San Angelo, Texas, and Casey solid here with an 83.5-point score.
This guy wins big venues. He's won the Daddy Up Mall in Cheyenne, and coming around, this bull cranking it back into his hand, spurring with the outside foot, fading all the way across the arena. Come on, boys, give it up with some points. Casey Bays, he's going to be in the finals again.
A little bit of a celebration for that 83.5, and he would be right in the thick of things coming into this final round tonight.
Well, Casey likes to ride good. He has a lot of fun with the bull ride.
Next up, Clint Craig lives in Mena, Arkansas. We always root for him. He's fought his way now close to the top 15. So the key for Clint Craig, how well he does in these Extreme Bull competitions and how well he performs in the second half of the year.
Salt River bull should turn back into his hand. Going out a little ways. Clint just kind of waiting on him, coming around. Nice job right there, but Clint's got to remember whenever he gets one big win not to go to coasting. He just got to ride one bull at a time, and he'll be at the Wrangler National Finals. And, you know, that makes up his whole year. If he's not there, he considers it a failure.
Not the rankest bull in the pen, 75 for Clint Craig.
Can't do anything about the draw. Just get on, ride them, and get a score.
Now to two-time world champion Bluestone, who seems to be healthier, and that should help his bull riding.
Well, Bluestone, he's an aggressive guy, big guy, good bull from Salt River, rounded the left into his hand, jump out of it, come back into that turn again. You know, Bluestone is riding well, got his free hand up, he reaches. You can see him pull up on that gate. Last year that shoulder really hurt him. He might not have been able to do that. Gets a 77.5, and he's got a chance.
That's 77.5, good enough to get him back for the finals. He's had some health problems, and so has Mike Moore. In fact, Mike Moore tore his bicep, stepped on at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. He's been off for 4 months. This is his first bull back.
I mean, Mike Moore can ride a bull and get off and not know which leg to limp on. Here we go. Whoa, boy, fire in the hole. Bull jumps out, really looks like he's going to go into a spin and be a 90-pointer, but then winds up just jumping and kicking. That's James Dean, just a young bull, but gets a good enough ride out of that to get him another bull, 77.5, a tie with Bluestone.
So Mike Moore pumped up just to be back into the business, back climbing on bulls, and yeah, 77.5, good enough to get him back to the finals. Robert Bowers now, Canadian bull rider. He's been a Canadian champion. Always tough. He drew a bull called Out of Control from Salt River.
Well, if you watch this bull's front feet, you can figure out why they named him Out of Control, because he's kind of a neat-looking little old bull to get on if you're a bull rider. Doesn't have big horns. But look at his front feet. He's just kind of walking around. Makes Robert Bowers really have to strain. But our judges, former bull riders, they recognize the degree of difficulty and gets a pretty good score.
78.5, good enough to make it back into that top 15. 90.5 from Zach Oakes, the best score in the semifinals. Pretty entertaining ride right here, though, from Stephen Turner. This is a bull called Red Man from Penn's Rodeo.
Buddy Penn's likes this bull, and so do bull rider. Big old fat red muley, just kind of wild leap, couple of belly rolls around to the right. And Stephen Turner, when he's hot, boy, look at that. Bull falls down, kicks his feet loose, makes the whistle, gets a good score. Now he'll get an option for a re-ride, but obviously turns that down, 84.5.
There's some times when you don't want a mulligan. This is one of those times. Stephen Turner's 84.5, putting him right in the thick of things heading into the finals here in Clovis. Last guy, the other half of the Wisconsin connection, Fred Betcher, travels with B.J. Schumacher, who happens to be ranked #1 in the world, but Fred Betcher has that type of potential.
Well, Betcher's just a good guy. Everybody likes him, and that includes the judges. I mean, he's just got to get up there and be aggressive, take care of that arm, keep it bent, got a good seat on this bull, and spin it into his hand. Look at that. That's great body position, spurring with the outside foot to keep his position up close to his bull rope. Nice job, and a good score.
Mike Moore tore his bicep. He had surgery. That's why he missed so long. Fred Betcher tore his back in September, did not have surgery, and he has just continued to ride bulls. He scored 82.5. Bull riding not the only game in town this week in Clovis, California. How about a tie-down roping shootout featuring this guy, Cody Old, the reigning tie-down roping world champion, and his arch nemesis, Fred Whitfield. We'll be right back. Back in Clovis, California, Jeff Meadows along with 8-time world champion bull rider Donnie Gay, but we're going to see how flexible you are. Going to change it up a little bit here. They had a tie-down roping shootout. They started with a field of the best tie-down ropers in the world. They eliminated one after every round. We got it down to the final 3. Jeff Chapman, Fred Whitfield, and the reigning world champion Cody Old. This is what happened in the round of 3. Jeff Chapman backed in the box and put together a pretty good run. He just made one little mistake.
One minor mistake. I don't know if you can see it whenever he nods. Now, this is the guy that had the record at the national finals for the world record fastest time ever at the NFR at 6.7, but he gets out just a little bit quick. That calf didn't break quite as hard as he thought. Makes a great run, smooth run, 8-1, but that is plus 10, 18-1. He's eliminated.
Yeah, he had a chance to put the pressure on guys like Fred Whitfield and Cody Old, and that's what you have to do in the situation if you're going to advance. But 18-1, that means Fred Whitfield can play it pretty safe and still make it back to the final round of 2, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, he knows he's got to make a nice run. You can't make a mistake like breaking the barrier, or you're just automatically eliminated. Down the rope, Fred Whitfield, probably as good on the ground as anybody in the business. Had a little trouble right here, though.
But when it was all said and done, 11-3, and all he had to do was beat Jeff Chapman, and he knew he'd move on to the final two, and that's exactly what he did. So here's a look at the problems that he had on the ground. Pretty good-sized calf here, and that can make it tough.
Well, I didn't even realize that calf had his front leg in the head loop, and he had to reach and tie the 3 legs from the bottom end, so it made it a little bit unusual, but gets it done and moves on.
So Cody Ohl came into the round of 3 needing to beat at least an 18-1 to move on to the last round.
He's the guy that broke the record at the national finals with a 6.5 blazing run, strapped on that gold buckle and down the rope. He's got a chance here. This could be really fast. String time. He's on a roll, and he's just real confident.
Only had to beat an 18-1, but that's safetying up right there for Cody Ohl. 9 seconds flat.
Okay, wrap him up, pull it tight. Cody Ohl, world champion, and he and Fred Whitfield, they've had some pretty big battles so far, and doesn't look like it's over yet.
Maybe the best rivalry in rodeo, especially today, maybe even in the history. Here's what happened in the final round. So Fred Whitfield, he had to go first.
Well, he had to go first, and he jerked that calf down until you had to get him up and get him back down. But you look at the clock, he stops at an 8.5. Fred Whitfield, he turns it on when it's needed. Takes dead aim and gets down, and his horse really helped him out here. But watch the tie. He made a mistake on that earlier one because he knew he had time. Not there.
Put the hustle on there, so Fred Whitfield in at 8.5 seconds, and this reminds me a lot of what happened back in December at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. It was Whitfield and Cody Ohl battling it out for the World Championship, and it came down to round number 10. Cody Ohl was in this exact same spot, and you mentioned that he established a new world record and a new arena record at the Wrangler NFR, and here it is.
Well, he just comes out, he's got to win this thing, and he comes down the rope, and I'm sitting there watching it going, my goodness, how fast is that? Gave that calf a 6-second opportunity to kick free, doesn't do it, and man, I mean, that was smoking.
So that gives you an idea what Cody Ohl does under pressure. Here's what happened this time.
All right, reaches out there and makes that quick throw. He's down the rope in a hurry. String it, pull it, one wrap, a half hitch, and taking a big chance.
Cody Ohl's a cowboy that loves to gamble as we watch the tie one more time, but this time it doesn't pay off because the calf kicks free. He winds up with a no time.
Well, you can see just by that, he just doesn't have anything good to think about this.
It has to be one of the best rivalries in sports. I know it's the best in rodeo. You and Cody coming down to the last calf, and I can't imagine there's anybody else you'd rather beat in a situation like that than him.
Well, you know, it's good friendly competition. You know, Cody and I have roped together for, gosh, almost 10 years now, and you know, it's either me or Cody or Fred. You know, it's good competition.
I think it's the best rivalry in rodeo, and this round went to Fred Whitfield. Welcome back to Clovis, California. PRCA Xtreme Bulls Tour presented by Coors Original. Jeff Metters along with 8-time world champion Donnie Gay. We get into this final few riders here in our short go in Clovis, and the guy that's still in the hot seat, the youngster, Zach Oakes.
Well, he's in good position. He's got another bull that he doesn't really know a lot about, but that's a good thing. But, you know, he shouldn't look over his shoulder because he's got world champion Cody Hancock, who, by the way, is riding really well. And then the number 1 man, B.J. Schumacher. Those are 2 and 3 right in behind him, so no day off. Actually, that may help. It may just kind of keep the pressure on and keep things rolling, but so far, so good.
Let's get into the tail of the tape in this finals draw, starting with Main Man. This is the bull that Zach Oakes has drawn. Not impossible to ride. Buck-off rate somewhere in the neighborhood of 75%.
Well, he's a good draw. All the bulls are going to buck in the final round, but Fred Betcher was 92 on him at St. Paul, so Zach Oakes, 21 years old. I mean, so what's to be nervous about? Get all the money, maybe.
Dippin' Cash, that's the bull that Cody Hancock has drawn. Cody Hancock a little older, 28, but also has a world championship under his belt.
That and 3 national finals qualifications. He's been under the gun for the big bucks. Edge goes to Hancock, in my opinion.
and Cody riding very well in 2004. And there's a nice look right there of Wild Side from Growney Brothers. Mike Moore, we talked about Mike, coming back off a 4-month layoff. He's 1 for 1. Can he make it 2 for 2?
That bull makes me a little nervous. I mean, kind of reminds you of Stone Cold. Nothing on top of his head, but he's big and bad and only been ridden one time. Mike's got his work cut out.
So Mike Moore, the veteran, at 31. And, of course, B.J. Schumacher also in the finals here. Runner-up to the world champion Terry Don West last year.
Well, he watched that. He knows he could have won it. This could be his year.
What do you want to accomplish between now and the end of the summer?
Well, I'd sure like to have the most money coming into the finals, set that record. But I guess that's my goal right now. I don't know if it'll win the title or not, but that's, and then when I get there, I guess I got to set some more.
How's your riding changed in San Antonio? Are you still riding well?
I got last Xtreme bull riding, I got stepped on, and it's kind of been pretty rough, I've been really sore, and actually last week I started feeling better, so I'm hoping I'll be back on top of my game now.
Does it change your mental outlook when you're ¡1 in the world? It's got to be a nice, probably better than being 150th, I think.
Yeah, everyone's chasing you, it's hard to, stay motivated because you are, in the lead, and that's why I try to set my goals so high, so I have something to try just as hard as everyone else is trying to catch up to me.
When you realize by, this time of year that you just about have the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo made money-wise, does it help you relax and, and focus on other things?
I made the finals twice now. I'd really like to win it, so I'm not very relaxed, no.
Boy, I do like his mindset, setting goals and continuing to set them and planning on being there. That's what a guy needs to do.
You can plan on him being in Reno, the next stop on our PRCA Xtreme Bulls Tour presented by Coors Original. Join us on July 3rd. For more, go to ESPN.com. Click on Pro Rodeo. BJ will be in action when we come back. We have set the table, and now it's time for the main course at our PRCA Xtreme Bulls stop in Clovis, California, presented by Coors Original. First set of bulls in the finals. Who do you like?
Well, Corey Melton, Fred Betcher, I like both of their riding styles. They're riding well, but I really like those bulls, Shyster and Real Deal. They will get it on.
First cowboy up, though, is going to be Matt Austin. He won our Xtreme Bull stop in Salt Lake City last year, but did not make the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, finished 18th in the world. Matt, one of those kids, though, that has the potential to not only make the Wrangler NFR, but win just about any bull riding he enters.
Jeff, I thought that missing the NFR for him and Clint Craig as they got real close to it might have been good for them, especially for their longevity, because you don't want to go there and have a bad showing. These guys are loaded with talent.
They call him Poindexter. He rides in his glasses, and Matt Austin has drawn a Western Rodeos bull Spindrift. His buck-off rate, not that bad, just 50%.
Well, I keep expecting this kid to just really have a breakout, but he does some things occasionally that is a little surprising. But, youth is a wonderful thing. Got a hold, jumping and kicking, and boy, I don't like this bull. He shakes him loose. I think he thought he made the whistle.
It gets off just a little bit early, and yeah, you're right, Spindrift just comes out and just kind of drifts down the bucking chutes there, and not much of a challenge for Matt Austin.
Well, what happens is a guy gets tuned in to riding spinning bulls. He's just jumping and kicking across there and then just blows up, wallered him into his hand and put him down 7.79, and he's going, are you kidding me? I mean, he said, I rode bulls like this at home for nothing.
Well, all he had was a 75 in round number 1, and that's all he has now after 2 rounds of bull riding.
Well, that's not going to get any money.
Blue Stone, this is a bull from Growney Brothers, Lock and Load, and of course Blue Stone, world champion in 01, world champion in 02. He's made 2 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and left there both times as a world champion.
Go Buckle, I mean, the top of the line, and so motivation is probably been a problem for him, but health-wise, he's looking good. Right around the gate to the right, and now slam dunk. Really kind of surprised. I'd like to watch this back. You see he's not lifting on his bull rope. I mean, he's just sitting there trying to float around the corner. You're not going to make a mistake, and I'm not sure he didn't jerk the rope out of his hand right away. But it just looked a little weird, but 2.71 seconds for the attempt, and Bluestone still having his problems.
Shoulder bothered him through most of last year. He injured it at the Xtreme Bulls stop down in Austin, Texas. So Bluestone not going to cover 2 bulls here in Clovis. And Mike Moore next to go. Talked about the injury problems with him. You know, he really hung in there, had a chance to win the World Championship last year, and just got beat up at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, but probably showed more heart than anybody there.
We really had to try hard. The guy's a tough guy. He's got the right attitude to be a bull rider. He went to college and stayed in there 3 years and went to the college national finals, honed his game, and there's a guy that's just raised himself up by the bootstraps, and frankly, I like it. Mike Moore, but he drew this wild side. Remember I called it, this bull reminds me of Stone Cold? He's got muscles in his ears. I mean, this bull can be a handful. Here we go, Mike Moore. Oh, he's already slapped him. Look out, get up, run. Holy moly, watch out. Oh, his spur hung in the bull rope. He is in big trouble. Somebody get a pocket knife. My gracious.
And you have to keep in mind, I mean, the torn bicep, he was stepped on at the Wrangler NFR.
See, he don't know where to limp, hold his head. I'd have a heart attack. I mean, look at this. His spur hangs in the rope. I mean, this could have been deadly. Remember the broken leg and the rod in his leg? I mean, this makes me just draw up all over.
And it is that left leg that he has had so much trouble with, and that's what hangs up in the bull rope. The boot comes off.
You know, and this thing is tied on tight where it's almost got the circulation cut off. Wow.
He's lucky that bull's not still doing a victory lap with him, but not much time, 1.75 seconds for Mike Moore.
I wouldn't be hugging them. They didn't have a pocket knife. Oh, man. Look at that boot. That's scary. A lot of ways to get hurt in this business.
So with that, we move to Marcus Michaelis now, lives in Caldwell, Idaho. The bull's wild one from Western Rodeo. Been out 5 trips, and he is 5-0.
How would you like to be Marcus Michaelis and be next after that last wreck?
Man.
You're thinking, my gosh, what else can happen?
Drawing a bull that has not been ridden yet this year.
3 up, 3 down, got one that's nobody's covered. Michaelis hanging in, got a good seat around to the right. Whoa, what a move right there. Jump out of it. This little bull doesn't know what to do. Michaelis just rode him like a yard dog. Atta boy, yeah.
So I guess the answer is there. No, he doesn't mind following that show put on by Mike Moore.
Never bothered him. Why'd I say that? I don't know. Okay, now, this bull's never had a qualified ride. He throws most everybody off probably right there. Then he jumps out of it, and this little bull's thinking, okay, now what's up? He's going to try and come back around again, but I really like the little bull. He bucked the whole way. Nice score coming in. You can hear it in the background, Jeff. 88 points for him, and he had 79 in the semis. There's your leader.
Marcus awfully smooth, just steps off wild one, 88 points for him. So a 167 total on 2 for Michaelis, and you're right, Donnie, he is the leader at the moment as we get into this final round in Clovis, California. Bo Hill will be next to go. He's tall, 6'2", 185. The bull that he has drawn, Pins Rodeo's polecat.
Man, 6'2", 185. That would have been a guy trying to go to the NBA a long time ago. Here he is riding bulls. I really like this guy. I talked about him in the semis. He scored 80 points, rode a real fast spinning bull, and one of those little ones kind of got him back on the rumble seat, but this guy's got a great attitude. Glacier, Montana. Used to being cold. He needs to heat up now.
Think about those bull riders from Montana. Scott Breding, so good for so long.
Well, you got to be tough, and especially to do this. They're trying to push that bull over. Most of the time, that is exercise in futility. But Bo Hill trying to get set. The longer you stay in the chute, the more, you know, kicked him right in the face with his boot. That's a good distraction. Round the left into his hand. A big bull, one that, he lost the bull rope.
Well, we finally see Bo Hill. We talked about his size, draw a big bull, and that's what happens.
Got him going. You see his hips get to the outside, puts a lot of strain on his right hand, popped the rope out, and then alley-oop right on his back. I mean, he hit pretty hard because as skinny as this boy is, you wouldn't think he'd hit as hard as he does right here. Watch this. I mean, wapola. Left a little imprint there on the ground.
The time there, 5.38 seconds and 80 in the first round. So Bo Hill with a total of 80.
He's got a great attitude. I mean, he can get up smiling. Okay, well, I'll get him next time. That was Polecat of Buddy Penn's.
Marcus Michaelis still has the lead, 167 on 2 and 88 on Wild One from Western Rodeo. The best we have seen in the short go so far. And now to the matchups that we talked about. Corey Melton, and then it'll be Fred Betcher. So Shyster is the bull from Groundy, and you really like this bull.
Well, he was only ridden one time last year, and he would have been ridden too if Corey Melton had got on him. This guy rides good, but I just, for some reason, I looked on there and I thought, you know, this guy can probably win the short go on this bull. He bucks that good, and this guy rides that good.
Finished 8th in the world last year, and here we go with Corey Melton and
6
Shyster.
foot tall, round to the right into his hand. That's kind of what I thought would happen. Got to keep his hand down. Bull's going to reverse the spin. Gets over. Oh, slammed him right on the ground. Look at the clock. It says 8 seconds. I mean, it increased the resist on. That had to hurt a little bit, but he's not going to let you know it. Second generation bull rider out of Louisiana, Corey Melton. Good bull rider. Boy, this bull almost has a chance to buck him off. Look at his head come up right here, and his feet got out, took the weight off, comes right back down. Then this bull reversed the spin. He knows he's going to get slam dunked. He hangs onto it all the way to the ground. Get another up top look, swing cam, and I mean, now watch this. When he goes the other way, coming back to, watch him hang on, gets the whistle, and wapola. That was a yard dart. Oh.
88.5 points is the score for Corey Melton, 170 on 2 head. He now moves to first place.
Well, you know, you get 2 of them rode, you're going to get you a check, and we've got 2 guys that's ridden 2 and ridden 2 good ones.
Fred Betcher next to go. This is the other half of the matchups that we talked about. Real Deal, another bull from Groundy Brothers.
Fast spinner, little brindle, and he will get in your britches. Fred Betcher, round to the left, into his hand, spinning. I thought the bull would be a little faster than he is right now. Betcher makes a good bull ride. Got to get off and get away. Oh, no, he's hanging in the bull rope. Now run, Freddie.
4 trips to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, travels with B.J. Schumacher, kind of been a mentor for B.J.
That's a nice bull ride. 88.5, still getting the money. That's just a good, solid bull ride. The bull changing directions a little bit. All right.
Not much of a challenge there for Fred Betcher, never in any trouble until he gets off, hangs up just a second in the bull rope. He winds up with an 85, 167.5 for Betcher. Second place at the moment. Michaelis now bumped to third.
You know, and that's kind of a shame because that was a lot of points for just a nice bull. That bull has a good reputation. I think that might have got an extra point or 2. But there's your standings. Corey Melton, 88.5. Marcus Michaelis, 88. Fred Betcher, 85 in this final round.
Last bull rider in this set, Robert Bowers. Bad Habit is the bull. Salt River is the rodeo company.
All right, now Robert got in with a 78.5. 97 Canadian bull riding champion. He's been to the national finals 3 times. This guy, he's just got all the talent, all the tools, but he's got to get it going. Sometimes he gets in a slump. He gets to thinking about that bareback ride and gets to straining a little bit, and I think that hurts his bull riding a little bit occasionally.
His brother Kyle's a bareback rider as well, having a great year in the PRCA ranks.
Here we go. Everybody pulling for him, round to the left end, his hand in the bull, jumps forward, got him shook loose. He slapped him, I think, and then just went ahead and took the quick exit out. Number 7 didn't do him any good in the Xtreme bulls here. Bad Habit of Salt River. Watch this bull. He comes around the left, makes a good turn. Now watch him jump forward, stretch him back, and then come again. You saw him, that free hand come right down on his neck. Bowers comes down, no score.
He figured the judges saw that 6 seconds, so.
Probably heard it. Wapola. Wow.
78.5 is all he will wind up with after 2 rounds of competition. Well back at the moment. Corey Melton and Fred Betcher right now sitting 1-2, but the second set of the finals is coming up. There's our leader, Corey Melton, at the moment at our PRCA Xtreme Bull Stop presented by Coors Original in Clovis, California. But Donnie Gay, this is where the plot thickens. You have the guys that did the best in the Longo, Schumacher, Hancock, and Zach Oakes.
Well, they've got some good bulls like Diamond's Ghost. You could beat 95 on that bull, and Stephen Turner made a great ride in the semis, and you know, it's anybody's ball game.
Far from decided, although Corey Melton right now a spectator, you have to like the situation that he's in because these bulls will be extremely ranked. 88.5 in the short go, 170 on 2 is Melton's total as Clint Craig settles in on Feeling Lucky, a bull from Salt River.
All right, Salt River, bucking bull and Feeling Lucky. We didn't know much about him. I'm glad to see Corey, you know, telling re-ride stories and, you know, trying to count his money. But he's raising that right arm, his riding arm, where he got slammed down on that shoulder. He hurt it at the NFR a year ago and still kind of hangs on to it a little bit, and so he's got to stay healthy. And being long and tall, he's subject to pounding. But Clint Craig, he don't know if he's feeling lucky or not. He's 75 points. He does get in. That's good.
Needs to be big, 95.5 if he's going to bump Melton to the second spot.
Well, the thing that he's got to get off of the schneid is whenever they say things like he fizzled in the back half of last year. Come on, Clint Craig, got him going into your hand. The bull jumped out of it, wallered him into his hand, and look how he just throwed a dirt clod at him because that bull was cutting for Tulsa. You know, a long way from there. Clint Craig was wishing he was going to stay in that spin. Had he done that, he could be looking at a 90. Watch this turn. I mean, this bull's got a lot of power, cranked it around there, and then, I mean, he's sitting there going, where are you going, bull? Oh, yeah. Can't stand you, man. No feed from me. No score.
Yeah, his time winds up 4.36, so disappointment for Clint Craig.
Oh, well, you know, that's where you just say, I'm going to the next one. And if the bull had bucked, if he'd have stayed in the spin, he'd have won the money.
Well, they're working to get Feeling Lucky out of the arena, and while they're doing that, Lee Woolsey trying to find his spot on Showtime. This is a Groundy Brothers bull. He went through last year unridden, so we'll see if Lee can kind of end that streak here.
All right, Lee Woolsey made a really nice ride, 83 points in the semis, and this is what you live for if you're a bull rider. The bull's name is Showtime. Showtime, he's unridden in 03. This is where you can be the hero plus make money. This is not having a real job. Come on, Lee Woolsey. Now, he hit the ground pretty hard, was a little bit dazed. Let's see it. Showtime starts right, rings him out like a dirty shirt. Whoa, look out, tried to horn in on his business right there, but Bullfighter's in good position. Bumgardner directing traffic, and it doesn't get a lot better than that. But Lee Woolsey didn't look like a different guy in the final round than he did in the semis. I mean, this bull just jumped out there, looked one way, and he never even thought about looking back to the left, and then almost forgot to run. This bull was going to give him a lift.
Yeah, the bull didn't take the fake from the first bullfighter that came through there, and it kind of left Lee right there with the bullseye on his back.
I mean, he just kind of stuck it up there. Lee Woolsey, you see his record, 83 in the semis, 2.76. That's not good in the final round.
No, he wasn't there long. Well, if you're Corey Melton, you're the leader in the clubhouse, and he's just checking him off the list there, hoping that he'll still be there when it's all said and done as Casey Bays gets set. This is a bull that's a lot of fun to watch, Broken Bone.
San Angelo, Texas bull rider, Casey Bays. You heard, I talked about him liking big venues like Cheyenne, the Frontier Days, that he's been the champion there. He doesn't wilt under pressure. It's just sometimes he gets in a rut. He's hot one week and then he's real cold. And you never really know what Casey Bays is going to show up. He had a good ride, 83 and a half, and he looked like he was really pumped. This should help. This is a big, stout bull right here. Broken Bone, the one-horn spotted bull of Dan Russell's round to the left. Oh, boy, got him started, shook him loose, put him down.
This is a bull that's been carrying a lot of guys to checks. His buck off rate now about 71%. He's kind of one you want to draw in this situation.
Well, anymore he is coming around. That's picture perfect, but you see, he just jerked him up off his back, got his hips into his hand, and you don't make a mistake on a bull that weighs about 2,000 pounds as quick as a cat.
So the highlight for Casey Bays, the semifinals at 83.5. He comes down in 5.16 seconds in the finals.
Oh boy, Diamond's Ghost, there he is. That's the one I was talking about.
Stephen Turner comes from Cochrane, Alberta. He is matched up with Diamond's Ghost tonight.
Well, now Stephen Turner, 84.5. Remember, he even had an option for a reride in that first round, but watch this bull buck. Look to the left, coming on. Stephen Turner is reared back on the end of his arm, and two guys now, I mean, he didn't look like anywhere close to the guy that rode in that semifinal round. This bull just jumps out, He's on the end of his arm, heads up. He didn't look like his head was in the game at all, anywhere close.
Yeah, I mean, that bull's pretty honest. Gives you a little look to the right, turns back
Turn
left.
right, back left, and kicking. That you're supposed to ride a bull like that. That's a shame, because he really made an excellent bull ride in that first go-round.
So, Donnie, the number is still 170. Corey Melton with 170 on 2. He is the leader, but now you're down to the guys that were the 3 best in the long go, and B.J. Schumacher, number 1 in the world, he's going to be the first one out.
Got a bull we don't know much about. He hadn't had an 8-second bull ride on. You saw Michaelis ride one of them, and he didn't have the kind of trip you thought he might. Slingshot, Salt River. Doesn't make B.J. Schumacher much difference. He rides all of them kind of the same way, just sits up there and does it.
Slingshot's been out 3 times so far this year, bucked everybody off that's climbed on him, so buck-off rate's at 100%, but I don't think he's run into anybody like B.J. Schumacher yet.
Probably not. He hasn't. And this guy, you know, you can hear Fred Betcher in the back. He's going, get your motor running. You don't have to really worry about staying motivated whenever you got a gold buckle in your side. Here we go. This bull is hard to ride. Coming around to the right. He got him shook into his hand a little bit. B.J. Schumacher, this guy really is a good bull rider. That bull throws a lot of guys off just by the way he bucks. Doesn't look real spectacular, but he doesn't have to. That bull came from Texas, from Jack Ratchin out in the Cowbell in Mansfield, and this bull, but see how he moves forward. Now he's going away from BJ's hand. You saw his hips get all the way into his hand, and this guy has got a magic fanny. He can pick it up and move it almost at will.
Well, he talked about being stepped on. He won in San Antonio. Our Xtreme Bull stopped there. Had a little bit of an injury problem, but he's definitely getting that form back up where it was earlier this year.
Well, I've heard stories about the 1963 world champion Bill Cornell being able to move his butt around on the bull like he does, and pretty fun to watch, especially if they can ride rank bulls.
High five right there from his traveling partner, Fred Betcher. So the score for B.J. Schumacher, 79. Not going to give him the lead. Corey Melton still in the top spot at the moment. He's got to sweat out 2 more Cowboys, Cody Hancock and Zach Oakes, and it's going to be the 2000 world champion, Cody Hancock, who's first to go.
Well, Hancock dipping cash. This is a bull out of the great bull, Mr. T. He's got a 75% buck-off ratio, but now Cody Hancock, 88.5 in that long round. He's riding well. The only thing I don't like is this bull goes, see how his hand is a little down on the side, and this bull, he must weigh 1,900, maybe 2,000 pounds. Hancock pulls a real snug bull rope. If this bull rolls and goes left, he might have trouble not getting into his hand.
You can tell by the graphic, doesn't have to be huge for him to take the overall lead.
He'll take the lead if he can make the whistle in any kind of shape, assuming the bull does what his rap sheet is, which is just jump out there and crank her back, kind of like his old daddy, Mr. T, was a rank bull. This is a good-looking bull right here. There's the nod. Big jump, come to the left, hesitate. I was afraid something like that might happen, just simply because, watch this bull. He comes around and Hancock leans over, and then a big jerk, whoops his hips out of there, and you're just not going to outpower one of these bulls like that. Watch where his hips come. He needs to go forward with that left side, and it doesn't happen.
Where to?
You can see the gold buckle right there, but it doesn't pay off tonight.
That bull can't read it.
The highlight for Hancock, 88.5 in the semis, put himself in a position to win here, but it's not going to pay off for him tonight. And we're down to the last Cowboy, Zach Oakes. He won the semifinal round with a ride of 90.5 points, so last guy with a chance to catch Corey Melton.
All right, main man, little red ball-faced bull. John Growney said if you like to ride, you'll like main man. Saw Fred Betcher scored 92 points on this bull in St. Paul, Oregon, but guess what? Zach Oakes, he scored 90.5 on Radical Ray in the semis, and he's just got a good warm-up for this bull they call the main man. This could be the main event.
Zach Oakes catching some air at the end of that ride in the semis, and nobody has been able to catch him so far except for Corey Melton. Big ride from him, but I mean 80 points. If he makes the whistle, chances are Zach Oakes is going to be the guy.
He'd be the man. This is the tough spot, knowing that all you got to do is make the whistle, but he just moves up there, tells them to open the gate round the left. This is just the other direction. Made a good move right there and another one. This bull is fading. This is going on. You're looking at a new champ right there, Corey Melton. You 1 second. He said, hey, give him the money. He earned it.
Yeah, Corey Melton there. Big smile on his face, but not as big as Zach Oaks. And you're right, Donnie. That bull faded way out into the arena.
Oh, boy. I can see what ground he's talking about. A bull rider really going to like this bull because he had him into his hand right there. You saw his hips, and he just really bared down. He got away with humping over just a little. That's perfect for Zach Oaks, and that'll do a lot for that boy's confidence.
Yeah, this score even bigger than the semifinals by a half point. 91 on Main Man.
Keeps his free hand coming forward. That is just a really good bull ride. The Main Man does his deal, and there's the champ. 90.5, 91, 181.5. Got it going away.
Yeah, by 11.5 points over Corey Melton. Melton's total 170, 181.5 for Zach Oaks. Tip your hat to him. He is the champion here in Clovis. This ESPN presentation of Xtreme Bulls from Clovis, California, presented by Coors Original, is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By the United States Army, an army of one. By Mahindra Tractors, cultivate your dreams. And by Coors Original, real Rocky Mountain beer, it's Guys Night Out. Welcome back to Clovis, California, PRCA Xtreme Bulls Tour presented by Coors Original. Jeff Metters along with 8-time world champion Donnie Gay and Zach Oaks, our winner here in Clovis. We beat a good bull rider in Corey Melton, and you won Rodeo Houston. You're following that up with a win on the Xtreme Bulls Tour. What a year you're having so far.
So far, yeah, it's been ever since Houston I've been snake bit, and you couldn't pick a better one to win than one of these. You know, it might just do it.
Zach, I got to ask you, that bull jumped out of the chute, another groundy bull. You won the long go round 90.5, and then you come back here, the last man, you know what you got to do. This bull turns back to the left away from your hand and really fading. Did that affect you at all?
I tell you what, I've been having all kinds of problems away from my hand, and you know, tonight it's a beautiful night. The fans are awesome. I just, you know, it felt like I kind of forgot about everything and just went out and had fun, and that bull felt great when last week he'd have felt terrible.
Here are the final results from Clovis, California. You can see Zach Oaks getting the win there by 11.5 points over Corey Melton. Fred Betcher and Marcus Michaelis wind up third and fourth. Payout here, Zach Oaks will remember this for a while, $23,500. Melton does pretty well too, over $11,000. World standings though, everybody's still trying to catch BJ Schumacher, but Zach Oaks jumps up to number 3 in the world at the moment.
Well, they got a lot of catching up to do to get up to BJ Schumacher, but it could be done.
Time for our Coors Original Xtreme ride, and we go back to Mike Moore, and after a 4-month layoff, this is just his second bull back, and this is kind of bull riding water skiing right here. Pretty scary moment.
Well, I'm telling you, it was very scary. His boot comes off with spurs tied down, cinched down, boot tied on. Get a load of this. If you don't think there's not a man upstairs, I'll tell you, he let that boot come loose. Mike Moore not hurt, and that's good to see. There's a guy that's good for the bull riding business, Michael Moore.
And Mike Moore, lots of problems with that left leg, so tough break for him tonight. Next up on our PRCA Xtreme Bulls Tour presented by Coors Original, Reno, the semifinals. Join us at 3 Eastern on July 3rd. For more information, go to ESPN.com, click on Pro Rodeo. For Donnie Gay, I'm Jeff Metters. Thanks for joining us here in Clovis, California. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.